It's back-to-back road course races in the Wawa Cup Series, and right at the end of the regular season as well. 2 races remain until the chase cutoff here in the Wawa Cup Series, and we head to our 3rd road course race of the season and our 2nd in 2 weeks. We're back at one of the greatest road courses in America. It's Road America, and the return of the storm-bowling 400K in the 2023 Wawa Cup Series. Hello, everybody. This is AG here, and welcome to Road America. We're back here in the Cup Series. First time in 4 years that the Cup Series has been to this racetrack, but we are very excited for this race, and let me tell you, I was doing some test races here. This place is wild, and it's going to be a lot of fun. And let me tell you, that chase battle is also very wild, and we come into this race with so many guys who need good runs starting up front in this race, and it's going to get very fascinating in terms of the wild card and just the regular points battle as well. But what is also very fascinating, as you can probably tell on your screen, the 2 guys who are locked into the chase coming into this race start 38th and 39th. Drew Webb and Thomas Troxel, they both had issues in qualifying. They start deep in the field. So great opportunity for someone to maybe steal this regular season championship. Maybe Chase Buck or Nicholas Sambidio, possibly, as they both start inside the top 12 for this race. Start alongside Derek Hamill and Stuart Gren for the call. This is going to be a great booth, guys. We're going to have a lot of fun. And Derek, your driver, Echo Evans-Ross, grabbed the race victory last week at Willow Springs. She has won both road course races so far, and she starts on the pole again here at Road America. Do you think she's going to go 3 for 3 and have an opportunity at that last wildcard spot?
My ego says yes. Love to see a trifecta on road course for her. So as my car, I would love to see that. Seeing more wins, it brings joy to this old king.
We're going to have to see what Echo Evans-Ross can pull off from the starting position of number 1 here today. And Justin, Matt Tuck, your driver there, did not have a good run at Willow Springs last week, and he starts 21st in this race. What does he need to do to work his way and maybe get a top 10 and possibly move himself back into the top 10 in points heading into the last race in the regular season?
Well, first and foremost, I'm glad I've changed my name to Justin. I didn't know that, but that's good to know. But more importantly, obviously disappointing with Matt last week. Just an unfortunate run all around, and starting kind of mid-pack. That's a bit of a concern. You don't want to be minded because it gets a bit crazy back there, and just got to try and survive this one. 5 points out coming in outside of the top 10, but still decent points position in terms of the wild card hunt. Not an ideal starting spot. Just hope to survive. Obviously, Justin Zidell starts 4th for us, which is very good. So. Hopefully he can fly the flag today, because it's a hard track to overtake, hard to really move your way forward. So hopefully the 51 can go to victory lane for the first time this year.
We'll have to see how everyone does in this one. It's going to be a wild race, and we're going to go ahead and get these guys to roll off here from Road America. And you see the point standings there on the left-hand side of your screen. Of course, Drew Webb and Thomas Troxel have both locked spots into the chase coming into this race, so they both picked a good time to have issues in qualifying, but like I said, the regular season title is still very much up for grabs, especially between those 2 drivers. Chase Buck is 60 points ahead. Nicholas Sambidio is 56 points ahead. Both of those drivers, if they leave this race with that same gap on the chase cutoff, they'll lock spots into the chase. The gap is 46. That's the lock for these drivers in making the chase and locking a spot if they have a 46-point gap on the cutoff heading into Nashville. LJ Zametto is 38 points ahead, and Dylan Matthews 34 points ahead. They're all solidly in the chase, but then you got Tanner Parton and Allier above 17 ahead, and then this is where it gets really tight. Ladovic Charette, Seth Cole 6 and 5 ahead respectively. Now they both start in the top 15 for this race, so they're looking to get good runs here today. Matt Tuck 5 points behind, starting 21st. Braden Perez is 23 behind, but he starts inside the top 10. Brad Stover's 24 points behind after a miserable run over there at Willow Springs. Rogel Dorn is 32 behind, Travis Crampton 33 behind, Master 35 behind, Echo Evans Ross 36 behind. A lot of those guys, especially Dorn, Crampton, and Evans Ross going for that wild card. And in the wild card, Matt Tuck has 27 points ahead of the cutoff for that. Braden Perez is 9 points ahead, and then 9 behind now is Rogel Dorn in the one machine. And then you got Travis Crampton 10 points behind, Echo Evans Ross 12 points behind, trying to get another maximum points day here at Road America. And then Blaine Keys 20 behind, but Blaine also starts up front in this race in the 6th position. It is Echo Evans Ross on the pole position there for Hamlin Racing Enterprises alongside Christian Master. And Master, if he can win this race, he'll be a threat in that wild card race going into Nashville, because he comes into this thing only 35 behind the main cutoff. And if he was part of the wild card race coming into this one, he'd be 11 points behind the wild card cutoff, and a win would give him a lot of points for that as well. Got Justin Zeidel and Trey Bartow in run number 2. Bartow with a great run in qualifying as a Sprint Series driver. Nicholas Samedeo starts 5th alongside Blaine Key. Samedeo looking to lock his spot into the chase. Same with the guy behind him, and LJ Samedo. And then you got Brian Webb alongside him, and then Braden Perez, Seth Cole there, rounding out the top 10 starting positions. There's Chase Buck. There's Ladovic Charette. There's Alliera. There's Travis Crampton. There's Brad Stover. There's Tanner Parton, Rogel Dorn, Matt Tuck. All those guys right around the cutoff right there, just above the 20th position and just below the 20th position to start this race. And realistically, the only other guys really in championship contention who are deep in the field are Dylan Matthews, which I know you're not liking that one, Derek, and then Drew Webb and Thomas Troxel. But for Webb and Troxel's case, they are both locked into the chase coming in to this event. Well, Derek and then Stewart, who do you guys think is going to win this 16-lap race with 2 cycles of pit stops here at Road America?
You know what? I'm going to give Stewart a little bit of credit here. I'm going to go with Justin Zeidel.
And I was totally going to go with Justin, I must admit, because I thought you were going to go the 39. I mean, Evans Ross is such an easy pick here from the pole again. And the one, I did Coda early in the year, the first race she won. Would not surprise me to see her go to victory lane once again.
And we'll have to see what she can do. Of course, she's won the first 2 road courses of the season there in that number 39 machine at Circuit of the Americas, and then last week at Willow Springs. She started on the pole for that race, but could not lead every single lap as Logan Williams almost took that win away. And Logan Williams threw that win away himself, so we'll have to see if something like that happens today. Will somebody be able to dethrone Echo Evans Ross? How will the points shake up after this race? It's going to be a wild one. Everyone lining up in the back of the field to get this one started. It's great to be back here at Road America. 4 years since the Cup Series has run here, but we're back in the Storm Bowling 400K. Up the hill they go. We're green flag racing on the longest circuit in the Wawa Cup Series here at Road America. And already, looking 3 wide for the race lead on lap number 1. But that inside lane tends to not work too well. And Zeidel really had to check up there on the inside. But Master trying to hang tough as they go down the hill, heading into turn 3.
Evans Rosso has a better line.
Still side by side. Master might get this one. And how about this for Christian Master? It would be a huge win for him if he can pull it off, because he's right there around the same amount of points. Just 1 point ahead of Echo Evans Ross in the title. They're still side by side as they head into turn 5, and this is a trouble spot right here for these guys. They really go into this corner with a lot of speed.
Evans Ross has a better... Oh, the track was faster!
He just overshot it there, and Echo Evans Ross going to clear to the race lead here at Road America. A little bit of a shuffle back in there. And they keep it together. We got 4 wide here. Trey Wright, Kukalon, Oskin, and Reynolds. And more contact. Rogel Dorn involved with Zachary Fitzwater. Gutierrez gets caught up as well. And then Dale Johnson the second, a couple of the Sprint Series drivers. They're all jammed up in the back of the field, and these guys just have to check up so much. But Rogel Dorn, that's the big one right there in the one machine, getting caught up in this accident on lap 1. You'll see a replay of that in the corner of your screen. Meanwhile, Echo Evans Ross clear the race lead. Justin Zeidel, Christian Master, Blaine Keys, Brian Webb, Trey Bartow, Braden Perez, Nicholas Samedeo, Chase Buck the top 10. And Brad Stover in the 48. Does he have an issue? Looks like he does. All these guys getting around him. And he had a tough race at Willow Springs, and it looks like it's getting even tougher for him in the championship standings. But a wild first lap here. Tanner Parton, I think, has a bit of a buckle on his hood, and he does. So Tanner Parton, who's in top 10 in the point standings, he's got damage on the first lap. But Matt Tuck is looking clean. I think Parton's going to come down right here, and he will. Oh, and Trey Wright. Trey Wright got spun off, and he is in the inside wall. What on earth? Drew Webb and Thomas Troxel, they're just like, what's the point at this point trying to battle too hard? They're both way in the back. What a wild first lap. Dale Johnson the second is out of the race. Both Drew Webb and Thomas Troxel coming down. Trey Wright, Parton's got his damage. Rogel Dorn stayed out, though, in the one. And then Dylan Matthews also with a bit of damage in the 47. Wow. What on earth? Brian Webb on Blaine Keys for fourth. Brian Webb's deep in the points coming into this race, and Justin Zeidel is all over the back bumper. Seth Cole is off in turn 5.
It's big. Big for the championship.
I would say take a shot every time the car goes off, but we would be liable for a lawsuit.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm going to be honest with you guys. All the test races that I did, we did not have this much carnage at all. What a race of attrition it has been already, but it's been a clean race up front with Ross, Zeidel, Master, Webb, Keys, Perez, Barto, Sam Adio, Chase Buck, and now LJ Sameto in the top 10 because Seth Cole went off there. And that is, look at what Matt Tuck has done. I mean, he was 19th the last time around. He has made significant ground on Seth Cole, who is just above him in that cutoff. And not a good run there for Seth Cole in the 82 machine. Ladovic stretches ahead of Chase Buck midway through the field right there as well. It's going to get really tight in the points once we leave Road America. And keep in mind, guys, we got 2 pit stops in this race. All right, Stuart, I've been talking so much. What on earth happened there in that first lap? And do you think it's going to stay like this the rest of the race?
I think I mentioned right off when I was talking about Matt early on being 21st. Don't want to be mired in that mid-pack because it's chaotic. It can be very chaotic, and that's exactly what happened. You had a bunch of guys racing. They were playing for sheep stations. Early stages, some guys in the chase, some guys just going out there trying to get the best position they can. And that was so messy. I can't like. It's ridiculous. It's lap 1, and you got guys going nearly 5 wide. Like, it's just unnecessary at such an early stage of the race. But luckily for our guys who got through it. Obviously for the 47 for Derek, unfortunately didn't quite, but Justin off the start, 3 wide. Mm-hmm. Very, I'm surprised it actually worked out. He's up into second and got the cars out of the race, unfortunately.
And this 51's looking pretty sporty here today as well. Now in the Sprint Series race, Dale Johnson II almost beat Sam Odoskin. Actually had an opportunity. He was alongside him there at one point, but Odoskin was able to hold off. But that was a race without any pit stops, so keep that in mind. These guys have 2 cycles, and that is really going to shake things up. Sam Medea was looking on Barto. Those 2 guys have been racing forever, and they're glad to be back here at Road America having top 10 runs right now. And Chase Buck, LJ Sameto there. Good run for Chase Buck, and for Troxel and Drew Webb. Very fascinating that both of those guys have had the issues that they have had in this race. Obviously, they didn't qualify well, but 37th and 38th right now for the 2 guys who have clinched spots into the chase. They're still going to have to do 2 stops, though, as will Tanner Parton, and I think those are the only 3 guys who came down that one lap. Trey Wright is out, and then Dale Johnson II is also out in the 05 machine after that lap 1 accident. But I think, at least for now, we've calmed it down. It's a tough break for Rogel Dorn, who's trying to hold on to that last wild card. He's got damage in the 1 machine. It's a mess back in here between a lot of guys who have no chance. And then Dylan Matthews, who is currently running 26th, but that's not really a good-looking car right there, and he's going to have to repair that when they come down for the pit stops. And then Seth Cole also fell back there. So it's going to get interesting in the points. There's just so many different scenarios that can happen in terms of the point standings. It's very hard to keep all that together with all that's been going on. But Echo Evans-Ross is making it easy on herself right now, but Justin Zeidel is not falling back, and this 51 may just be faster here for this race win.
I regret my decision picking Zeidel to win. Should have won my driver, but Zeidel, that move off the start, that was just pure aggression, and I love seeing it.
Mm-hmm.
Usually don't see that at a road course.
Yeah, Zidell comes into this race 24th in the point standings, and even with a win, I don't think he's going to have a shot at the wild card. But, Stuart, I know you'd love to see Zidell finally get a race victory. Do you think he's got a shot here today?
Oh, he's absolutely got a shot. He's all over the back of the 39, really pushing the envelope here early on. And just from a selfish standpoint, from a team perspective, it would be fantastic because obviously Echo Evans-Ross, in the wildcard hunt with Matt Tuck. If the 51, could get the win here, get around this 39 and just kind of limit the amount of points that the 39 could get, I'd be a very, very happy man on multiple fronts. So fingers crossed it happens.
We're going to have to see. And you just said that right with the owner of this car right next to you.
Yes.
Ooh, a little wide there for Master in the carousel. And that carousel is a place you got to watch out for. I will never forget the Season 5 race we had here when Griffin Lynn... And I'm just remembering this now. Griffin Lynn overshot the corner, and Tyler Selzman won. I think you know Tyler Selzman, Stuart.
Okay, enough said.
I'm sorry.
Enough said.
I'm sorry.
But let's just say that
Worked out in the end. It all worked out in the end. We're all good.
Yeah, that carousel is not a place you want to let your kids play. Very dangerous.
We'll have to see if that becomes an issue at some point. Braden Perez might be holding these guys up. Trey Bart's trying to get around him. Nicholas Samedeo. Samedeo and LJ Semedo, two guys, especially Samedeo, who's looking to clinch a spot into this chase here today. Of course, almost got the win at Gateway 2 weeks ago, but got passed there right at the end by Drew Webb. Didn't work out too well for him there, but for Samedeo's case, he's still got a lot of points there. Had a solid run at Willow Springs, and now looking to clinch a spot into the chase without a race victory. He is the highest driver in the point standings without a win, as Ruggles Dorn is in the pit lane. And it doesn't look like they're changing tires. An issue on this one machine, and more than likely because of that accident. That's what happens when you start deep in the field. And just as you were alluding, Stuart, you were concerned about Matt Tuck starting back in the field there because of all that carnage that could happen. He got out of it, thankfully, for his sake at least, and he's 17th right now. But Crampton here, Ladovic Charette, Allier, all these guys right around that cutoff. Now, for Liera, she is 17 ahead, so she's doing all right. She's currently running in the 14th position. She's not going to clinch a spot the way she's running right now, but it's going to give her a little bit of breathing room as, how about this? Both LJ Semedo and Fisher G got around Chase Buck right there. Fisher G is running in the top 10. Great to see that for Heritage Motorsports. They have not had a good season, but Fisher doing something here in this 37 machine here at Road America. Meanwhile, back up front, here we go. Justin Zidell trying to peek to that inside through the carousel was Echo Evans-Ross went a little wide. She's trying to get that run off the carousel and get through the kink well, but Zidell might have a shot into the can of the corner right here for the race lead.
Outer corner, very tricky corner.
We'll have to see if Zidell peeks down. Brian Webb's peeking down. Zidell's peeking down. Here we go for the race lead. And Justin Zidell is going to take it away from Echo Evans-Ross on lap 5. How about that for Justin? And now Brian Webb right on the back bumper of Echo. And here we go. A great battle for the race lead here at Road America.
What a pass from Justin.
That was a power move right there for the 51.
I mean, he started power move in lap 1. Power move here.
He wants this race win. He hasn't had one all year. Of course, did win in the Haas IndyCar Series for my team as well, back in the first race of the year at Auto Club. But hasn't gone particularly well in the Cup side. I would love to see this if he could just hold on. Still a long way to go, and the 13 looks very fast. He is absolutely closed in, and you've got to limit the mistakes here. A couple times, these guys have run wide, and opens the doors for the cars behind.
And they've been running wide all over the place. Echo Evans-Ross took advantage of that, and now she's right back on the back bumper of Zidell. Where Zidell's going to get a bonus point towards the championship there for leading that lap. Even though it's not really going to mean too much at this point in the season, considering where he is in the championship. But still, a win is a win. And that definitely is going to boost your confidence. Meanwhile, Master and Webb still going after it. And don't count out Blaine Keys. Now, Blaine's only 20 behind the wild card. If he gets his third win, which, running 5th right here, right on these guys, as Echo's still right there trying to get back back around that 51. They're going to be coming down the next time by, I do believe, for the cycle of pit stops. And all 5 of these guys are right on each other. Not a good exit there for Echo. And Brian Webb looking to close in. Brian Webb's another guy. He's 25th in points coming into this race. Definitely needing a good run. And this team, though, this is a home race for them. Andrew Williams, the owner here. And Brian Webb looking to the inside of Echo Evans-Ross for second. That 39 falling back just a touch, but Brian Webb not going to be able to make the pass. So many things I want to say, and there's so many things going on the racetracks. What we had happen in Willow Springs last week is just so many things going on, and I can never actually get the whole thought out. And I never let my co-commentators talk. But next time by, I think we're going to be coming down the pit lane here for our first cycle of pit stops.
I think it's a good thing I don't talk, because I'll probably end up saying something wrong.
Well, hey, you picked Seidel to win, so so far you're right about that.
I want that to be wrong.
Well, here we go. Justin Seidel, Echo Evans-Ross, Brian Webb's going to stay out here. Now, it's still going to be a 2-stopper for Brian Webb and all the guys who are staying out, but majority of leaders coming down right here, and we're going to follow with Seidel. Now, this is an interesting thing because Seidel, he started 4th for this race. So his pit stall is before Echo Evans-Ross's pit stall, and he's going to check up that 39. All these guys are right on each other here. They have to be careful coming off the pit lane because they're all right there at the front. Seidel 2 tires on the 51 machine, and Echo Evans-Ross also going 2 tires. Christian Master, I think it's a 2-tire stop. Tire wear is not very significant here at Road America. We saw that in the Haas IndyCar Series, and we're seeing that right here. Seidel able to pull out to a significant lead there on Echo Evans-Ross, and Christian Master looking to possibly get a position. Blaine Key's going to try to make a move here on Master as they get around the now lapped car, or not a lapped car, but driver is yet to make a pit stop there of Elijah Gordon, who is a little bit off the pace compared to our race leaders. Blaine Key's going to make the move on Christian Master. Master going to try to peek back on the outside, which will eventually be the inside in the turn number 5.
Good ding dong battle. It's a great pass by Blaine Keys to get past this 43. Down the 43 trying to fight back. We've seen a couple cars run wide through here. So Keys has got to be careful. Does well there, holds on. Doesn't go off into the gravel. We've seen a couple cars go off there and will hold the position. It'll be interesting to see with the strategy, the 13 and the 23, the 2 Team Williams Dodgers. And they stayed out.
Oh, Chase Buck's off! Chase Buck's off in the carousel! And that right there, and I don't think he hit the wall too hard, but Chase Buck is absolutely going to lose a lot of ground because of that. And he was 60 points ahead of the cutoff coming into this race. Not a good day for Pacific Racing, no doubt about it. Troxel, with all of his issues and qualifying and all that. And this is good for, Titan Fury, they have Drew Webb falling behind, but they still got LJ Semedo out there running well. Chase Buck, did he stay out or did he come down the pit lane? I think he was still staying out there, so he still has to make his first stop of the race. Here comes Brian Webb, Braden Perez, Trey Bartow, Chase Buck, Eric Monaco, Joey Hightower, and Logan Williams. And here is Justin Seidel, who will be the race leader once it all cycles through. And he's got a gap now on Echo Evans-Ross and trying to dethrone this 39 from winning these road course races. He's won the first 2 already. We'll have to see if someone else wins it here today. Brian Webb down, and it looks like these guys, did they go 4 tires?
2
I
tires.
think they went 2 as well. So the 2-tire stop for a lot of these guys here. We'll see where Brian Webb comes out in relation. We saw in the IndyCar race the later pit stops ended up working out a lot better than the later ones, or the earlier ones, I should say. And look at that for Brian Webb, jumping the 51 of Seidel. Now keep in mind, they were right on each other there. Seidel's going to try to get around this 13, but Brian Webb trying to take this race lead away. He's not going to be able to hold off the 51 on cold tires, and Seidel will take the race lead as next time by will be halfway here in the Storm Bowling 400K.
A pit stop from the 13 crew to get up into second. How about Perez up into third? That's a great result for Perez in terms of that. He's what, 12th in the championship. He's got that wild card spot. I mean,
Blaine
that's
Keys.
a great run for him, and you've got Keys here.
Ooh, what is that?
That's a block. That's a block.
Look at Echo. She dove into that corner like really hot. That was a dangerous move right there, and we saw Seth Cole overshoot that corner on lap 2. And we saw it in the IndyCar race, and Blaine Keys, he wants to get around this 39. Keys knows he has an opportunity, and once we get to the second cycle, he may be able to pull some strategy and close in on Seidel, but right now, not really the case. And here comes Christian Master. Here comes Nicholas Samadeo. Samadeo's going to make a 3-wide. We call him Mr. Edge for a reason, and he's on the edge of the carousel. That was tight.
And you called what Echo did dangerous?
That was significantly more dangerous right there.
Now listen, HRE drivers have to be in one place at all times, and that is the danger zone. And Echo's familiar with that, clearly.
Trying to close in here on Braden Perez for the third position. Now, the thing about the Williams guys, Webb and Perez, and while tire wear is not significant here, they could easily go fuel only on their last stop and really only have one lap to go there. Such a great battle here for third. From Perez all the way down to San Mateo, they're just all in a line. And I just don't know. This 39 seems to just be holding these guys up a little bit. You know, once Seidel got around her, Seidel pulled right away. San Mateo on the outside of Blaine Keys. Blaine Keys trying to get around these guys. He's going to end up losing 2 positions after all this is said and done. San Mateo on the outside of Keys in the turn 1 as we're halfway in the Storm Bowling 400K at Road America.
55 actually got into the back of Master there late in the last lap, and luckily no damage done, but has lost another spot to the 59. And every point counts at this stage in the year, particularly if you're around that mark. It's, man, this is important, and we've got some other guys getting back into it as well. Big shout out to Fisher G as well in the top 10 in the 37.
Yeah, this team needs a good run, and obviously I feel like this team's going to have completely new drivers next year. Just based on the way the reserve functionality goes with the ratings and all that. But, oh no, Bartow! Does he have a problem? He's got an issue in the 80. Oh, such a tough break for him. Sprint Series driver, he's got to get off the track here. That thing, they gotta teleport that quick. Remember, no cautions on the road courses, and that was tight there. I know your heart skipped a beat there, Stuart, with Matt Tuck driving by. But thankfully, Matt Tuck going to get back to the pit lane before anyone runs into him. Such tough break for Bartow, the Sprint Series driver. Started up front in this race. Of course, he's leading the points over in the Sprint Series, looking to win the championship over there. Maybe be full-time next year. There's a buckle on the hood of Matt Tuck right now. This is a little concerning because he's still running all right there in the 12th position, but they might have to do a little repair work on the pit lane, and he may lose some ground. And if he finishes 12th, that is such a great day for Matt Tuck and trying to make this chase, because Seth Cole has had his fair share of issues here, currently running 21st, and that would mean Matt Tuck would surpass Seth Cole. Where's Ladovic at? Because Ladovic's another one of those guys, and he has not had a good run. He's 31st right now. He's going to fall outside the top 10 again because of this run right here. Not at all what Ladovic wanted. Crampton and Yerra have also had struggles in this race so far. They are 25th and 26th, and Yerra 17 ahead. And, of course, Tanner Parton had his issues, so all those guys kind of ahead of him as Matt Tuck's coming down. Okay. He's coming down. I'm wondering if this is repair the damage. Now, they are probably going to be... Ooh, they got 7 laps. They got 7 laps. I don't know if they're going to be able to stretch it all the way. They might be able to, but this isn't looking good for Matt Tuck here, Stuart. I don't know how long they're going to be to repair the damage. They are taking tires right here. Meanwhile, you're not missing anything up front as Seidel leading by 4 seconds on Brian Webb. San Mateo now up to 6. He got around Blaine Keys earlier, and it is a scheduled stop there for Matt Tuck, and not an extended one. So that's going to get interesting because Matt Tuck now, will he be able to make it to the end of the race? Because I think Brian Webb and Braden Perez went 7 laps, and it's 7 to go right now. So that could get dicey as Christian Master going to get around Echo Evans-Ross right here, trying to at least. Oh, that's a tight one.
He goes wide again. Pretty sure he went wide on that corner very early in the race as well.
Master doing a great job. Keep in mind, Master's 35 behind the cutoff, but he's far up behind enough where I think he's going to need a win to have an opportunity. Meanwhile, San Mateo, he just needs a good run to clinch his spot, and he'll let those guys have at it at Nashville. Or maybe he'll go for the win in Nashville. I'm surprised San Mateo has yet to go to victory lane yet this season. 3 runner-up finishes this season in the Wawa Cup Series for the 2015 Daytona 500 champion. Closest finish ever. I mean, these 3 guys can't get off each other. Master, San Mateo, and Keys just all on each other. Semedo is right there, and top 10 have a significant gap on the rest of the field. Eric Monaco is 19 seconds off the race lead right now. That's insane.
Average. That's just an average Road America moment.
Well, Stuart.
Justin's doing a good job.
Yes, he is.
He's doing a really
Charrette's
good
in the
job.
pit.
Oh, Ludovic Charrette. And the issues keep on getting worse for him. Ran his way, had such a great run at Willow Springs last week, and now he's going to fall back outside the top 10, and he does not have a win to fall back on either. Not looking good for Ludovic in making the chase here, and that's good news for Matt Tuck and Braden Perez. And we haven't talked about Braden Perez too much in terms of the championship in this race. He's 23 behind the cutoff. He's running third right now, and if he can hold on to this top 5 run, he might get himself back into the top 10. He hasn't been top 10 in points pretty much since he got that win at Phoenix. I mean, midway through the regular season there. Battle here between Keys and San Mateo, and Blaine Keys going to get back around the 59. And LJ Semedo there, right behind the 59 machine as well, all jammed up there. That 37's quick. He's not 20 seconds off the race lead right now. He's only 11 seconds off the race lead. Oh, Semedo's off the track.
Semedo off the track. Did a little bit of Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift. He's still good.
Yep, he's still doing good. We see a lot of guys overshoot the corners here at Road America. It happens quite a bit. And we've seen a great share of attrition in this race, especially early on. Well, Stuart, still one more cycle to go. Zeidel's got a 4.5 second lead. I know you don't want to help these guys out at Team Williams, but what do they need to do to get around your driver?
Well, they need to have good pit stops. That goes without saying. Or, they'll have to pit again. So they need to have a good pit stop, and they just need to kind of rely on the 51 to just not make any mistakes. And they need to make sure they stay clean. Because man, we're flying at the moment with Justin. He is doing a hell of a job, and he's gonna pit.
And this will be the last stop for Zeidel. Now here's the thing. Oh, Brian Webb's also gonna pit right here. Will anyone stay out on this lap?
Keys, maybe? No.
This is fascinating. Everyone's kind of coming right down here. It's 5 to go across the line. This will be the last stop of the race, and we're going to follow with our race leader, Justin Zeidel. Left sides on that 51 now. They took right sides on the first stop. Zeidel's got to be careful, though, because Echo Evans, Ross, and all these guys are going to be coming in right as he's going to be coming out. And they held him there for just a touch. And Brian Webb might close in a little bit here on our race leader. That 13 might have an opportunity here. Braden Perez will get second off.
What are you guys doing? No!
Oh, boy.
What are you guys doing? Why is the car still up? No, stop that. No.
Oh, no. And you hear the agony in Derek's voice right there.
All of you are fired.
Hey, you adjust the pit crew ratings every week. That's on you. Eric Monaco going to get around her right there. Now, did anyone stay out? We had, absolutely had some guys stay out, I think.
Barco's back.
Dylan Matthews, I don't know.
What
Is
the
he still
heck
on
happened
the lead
to
lap?
him?
Yeah, he's not. I don't think anyone actually stayed out that time because all the guys, you got Bartow there, he already had come down because of his issue. He's back out on the racetrack there. So everyone kind of came down right there. Miller has significant issues. You got Logan Williams and Elijah Gordon. I don't think either of them came down the pit lane, but they still have to make another stop, and you can tell how far off the pace they are considering they're still behind our race leaders here. Logan Williams and Elijah Gordon still have to make another stop. Master, the big winner of that exchange right there, is Elijah Gordon getting a little edgy there with the hometown hero of Logan Williams. So Master able to get around Blaine Keys. And then LJ Semedo jumped a lot of guys. Same with Fisher G. San Mateo kind of lost a little bit of ground right there. And then Monaco. And then, of course, Echo Evans Ross, definitely the biggest loser of that one, unfortunately, is she lost a lot of ground right there. But just didn't quite have the speed here today as she has had at the other road courses. But one guy who does have the speed is Brian Webb, looking to close in on Justin Zeidel. And you know what? He's going to have a chance at this race victory. It's going to be 4 laps to go next time by here at Road America. Zeidel has been the fastest car of this race, but Brian Webb played that strategy. And you know what? He's got slightly fresher right sides than this 51, and that may be the advantage Brian Webb has. We're going to have to see how it all goes down. Still 4 laps to go here at Road America, but it's going to be a tight race for the win.
And my heart rate's just gone up tenfold seeing that 13 close in. I think the 51 didn't have a great pit stop. He was a bit slow there at the end for whatever reason as Charrette's getting back out there, the 61.
He's going to go a lap down.
Yeah, but that was that. I'm very nervous, man. This is big.
Brian Webb, of course, both of these guys 24th and 25th in the points, respectively. All of the winners so far this season, with the exception of Sam and Oskin, who was a Sprint Series driver, went to victory lane at Dover. All of them sit at least 18th in the points or higher, so it's very fascinating to see these two guys be up front here. Brian Webb all over the back bumper of Justin Zeidel, giving him a bump through turn 5. But not enough to get to the inside in turn 6. But he's got plenty of time to make this move. Now, this is what we saw in the Sprint Series race as well. Oh, Brian Webb looking on the outside. He wants this. He wants this race lead, and he knows this is his opportunity. Will he dive it in into turn number 8 there? He will not. We saw this in the Sprint Series race. Dale Johnson was all over Sam and Oskin midway through that event, but then kind of lost the ground, used up the tires, and Brian Webb has to be careful not to do that, trying to get around Justin Zeidel right here. You got Braden Perez there in third, Christian Master. Elijah Gordon still has yet to come down the pit lane for his second stop. Blaine Keys, LJ Semedo, Logan Williams as well there. And then Fisher G inside the top 10. Nicholas Samedeo, I think, rounds out the top 10, or will round out the top 10. Monaco will actually round out the top 10 once Gordon and Williams come down. But still a tight battle between Zeidel and Brian Webb for this race lead. Going to be 3 laps to go next time by here at Road America.
I'm just watching. I'm just so anxious, man. This is, I mean, Zeidel was flying. I'm curious, because they did go 7-ish laps on the last stint, or at least the 13 certainly did. It was a short run that time, which is interesting. I must also ask, because I have vested interest in it, I'm not sure what happened to the 54.
Yeah, you're right. Where did he cycle to? He lost a couple of positions. Currently, we'll see how it cycles through this time. Like I said, Matt Tuck should not have to make another stop in this race, and even though this is kind of a midway run for him, he's 17th right now. He's still ahead of Seth Cole, and albeit, though, he's not going to pass him in the points. Ahead of Chase Buck, ahead of Travis Crampton. He's definitely well ahead of Ludovic Charette and Tanner Parton. Tanner Parton, obviously, with his issues there. Currently, as he crossed the line, 27th, so that's 10 points. He's still not going to pass Parton. He will pass Charette, though. Oh, camshaft issue on Aliera. That's huge right there, and Barto's off again. Barto is off in the carousel.
He's on.
I tell you, so many things going on. We'll try to catch all of it for you in the corner of your screen. So Ludovic Charette's 2 laps down, and Aliera is out of the race. That is good news for Matt Tuck, but terrible news for Ali, because she had only 17 points ahead of the cutoff coming in, and she's going to finish outside the top 35. Not at all what she wanted there. And honestly, I don't even know who the points leader is going to be after all this, because Chase Buck's had a tough run. Drew Webb's had a tough run. Thomas Troxell's had a tough run. All the guys up front, maybe with the exception of Sam Hideo and Semedo, have had tough runs in this race, because Dylan Matthews, Tanner Parton, Niera, Charette, Seth Cole, the only 2 guys who are top 10 in points who have not had an issue have been Semedo and Sam Hideo. But how about this? Stuart, I know you're not liking this, but Brian Webb, Andrew Williams, they're loving it right now. And that 13 is going to have a shot. But will he be able to make the pass? It's tough to do so here at Road America. But Brian Webb trying to do it for the home team here in Wisconsin. A little bit wide, though, off of 14, and Zeidel pulled away right there.
Well, you're saying Stewart's not liking this. I'm not liking it either. That green card's ugly.
Okay, well, with all due respect, Derek, not everyone is colorblind, and I do apologize for what you're seeing. Hey, not as bad as that car, right?
hey, hi, Barto.
Oh, Blaine Keys down. Blaine Keys with damage in the 55, and he's down for a 3rd time. That may seal it for Keys. That's not going to give him an opportunity, and a lot of damage on the 55 machine. He got into somebody there. I hope that the game doesn't delete all my replays again, because there's going to be a lot to replay after this race. A 2nd lead now for Zeidel, but Brian Webb, he lost it there in the turn number 14. Going to try to close back in. 1.5 laps to go here at Road America.
It's one thing that I always, you listen to it when you you hear it when you're watching racing around the world, particularly where I'm from in supercars and all that. It's one thing to catch a guy. It's another thing to get past him, particularly here on a road course like Road America. I mean, you can see, clearly the 13's faster. There's no doubt about that. But he has to find the spot, try and get around Seidel. That's easier said than done. And you can't overdrive it, because in turn 14 there, he basically lost a second in that turn alone, because he ran wide and just lost all his momentum, all the speed. So I don't know if he'll be able to get to the 51 now. Zeidel's doing a good job.
We got a lap car, or what will be a lap car, and who would have thought it would have been Thomas Troxel who would have been a lap car in the Wawa Cup Series race this season. I mean, he's been non-existent here today, and he may actually get in the way of our race leaders. Well, here we go. What an eventful race this has been here at Road America, and we had an eventful one last week at Willow Springs. We're going to have a great finish. Brian Webb with a great exit that time, and he's going to have a shot. White flag in the air here in the Storm Bowling 400K for Justin Seidel. The top two at least, going for their first win of the season. Braden Perez has closed in significantly, and if these two tangle, Perez may get his second win, but one lap for Seidel. He's got to hit his marks around this racetrack to have an opportunity at the win.
Piggyback off what Stuart said, yep, catching him's one thing, passing him's another. I think, to use a supercars analogy, Brian Webb, right?
Yeah, Brian Webb in the 13 machine there.
Okay. He's going to need a lap of the odds, for lack of a better term, to get by Seidel here. Oh, but they are catching a slower car, Troxel.
Yeah, this could get dicey. Brian Webb putting the bumper to Seidel in the turn 5. He is there. Trying to force Seidel into a mistake on this last lap. Seidel has done everything right, though, in keeping this 13 behind him, who is clearly faster. I mean, look at Perez there in the 23. But it's still not over yet. And Troxel could get in the way of Seidel if Seidel ends up catching him at the right time. Brian Webb still trying to close in on this 51. All he's got to do is beat him at the line. He doesn't have to complete and clear the pass. He just has to beat him at the line. And Webb trying to run that inside through the carousel. He's going to have a shot here going in the can of the corner. That's going to be his opportunity to beat this 51. Will he get it? This is such a tight battle for the race win here at Road America. And they're closing in on Troxel here in this 62. I don't know if he's getting in the wake of Seidel or not. Webb in the can of the corner. Not able to get an advantage quite yet. Seidel was a little wide, and Brian Webb's all over the back bumper. He's only got 2 more corners to get around him. And they're closing in on Troxel. They're going to hit him here in turn 14. Seidel and Brian Webb going to the line. Webb on the outside lane trying to get an advantage. It's not going to be enough. Justin Seidel, first career win in the Cup Series as a driver. He gets it in the Storm Bowling 400K. How about that?
What did I say, Stuart? I said he was going to win. What did I say, dude?
Brian Webb, second. Braden Perez, third. Christian Master, fourth. Great run for Master. LJ Sameto. Fisher G. Nicholas Samadillo. Eric Monaco. Echo Evans Ross. Trinity Ida rounds out the top 10. And Matt Tuck finishes in 13th. I say that's a good day for you guys, Stuart. Everyone was all over the place in this race. Ludovic Charette with an issue. Ali Yera with an issue. Tanner Parton had his issue. Chase Buck had issues. Blaine Keys had significant issues there in the 55. He's going to fall back. Where's Tanner Parton going to finish here? He is going to be 30th. Not a good run there for Tanner Parton, especially after that first lap incident. Not a good run for Dylan Matthews. Matthews is yet to clinch. I will say, I think 2 guys who have clinched, Nicholas Samadillo, LJ Sameto, and I think it's safe to say Chase Buck, even though he finished in the 23rd position. He was far enough ahead, I think, going into this race. So those top 5 are good, but we're still going to have 5 more spots to clinch next week at Nashville. And it's definitely going to get tight. But how about Justin Seidel? You know, he's not really going to have a shot, I don't think, at the wild card. But Stuart, I know you are proud to see your boy get it done here at Road America for Grattan Autosport. How about that for that 51 team? Your second win of the season, Stuart. And Matt Tuck had a good run as well. Good day for your team. Derek, I know you wanted a little bit of a better day than what you ended up having, but it's going to get interesting once we head to Nashville. Let's go ahead and export these points out. Well, I'll let Derek and Stuart do some talking. Thoughts on that race, guys? What a race it was here at at Road America.
Willow America. Yep, Road Springs, my favorite track. Yeah, I don't know. I'm broken from the first lap. I'm broken from wherever the heck 39 crew did. But dang, Zidell finally gets a win as a driver in this series.
He deserves it, man. Oh.
I'm sorry. You go ahead.
Oh, did it crash or like what?
No, I'm actually I stepped out of the game.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool. I was a bit concerned. I thought it crashed for a moment. That would only happen to me if that happened. But that's special, man. It's Justin, he hasn't had a great year in terms of results in this series. He's further down in the points, and he deserves this, man. He got off to. You could tell right away. He wanted to go out and win this race straight off the bat. You could see, jumped out, made it 3 wide into turn 1, and it was fantastic. It was a great result for him, and he deserves it. Even if he won't make it. I think he's too far back, but at least if anything else, he gets a win today, and I'm very proud of him. It's a great result, and obviously Matt finishing 13th as well is good. It's a decent result, all things considered, because a lot of others struggled. As you can see, Liara, that hurts for the 5. That really hurts. Charette 35th. Rogel Dawn, I think Dawn, he had a good run, but I think it's probably over for him now, if I had to guess. I can't really see him getting back into it. I will say one thing. Braden Perez, P3, is the biggest winner, I think, of the whole race. In terms of an overall perspective. So P3 is a great result.
And here's how they line up in the points, and this is where things get kind of dicey. Drew Webb, Thomas Troxel, Nicholas Samadio, and let me do the math correctly here. I think safe to say we got 48 points for Chase Buck on the cutoff. So Chase Buck has locked. LJ Semedo has not quite locked a spot yet. He's 44 ahead, but I think it's pretty safe to assume LJ is going to be in the chase as well. Dylan Matthews did not have a good run in this race, all things considered. Had that issue and ended up finishing deep in the field 33rd here today. He has a 22-point lead on that cutoff, so not too bad. Seth Cole actually gained 3 positions in the points. He went off the track, but he finished 16th. He's got 10 points now on the cutoff. Matt Tuck has 8 points ahead of the cutoff. Tanner Parton has 7 points ahead of the cutoff. And Aliera's issue, that really threw everything for a loop there, because she was 17 ahead. She's now 1 point ahead of Braden Perez. Now, here's the thing. Both of those drivers do have wins. So Perez has the first wild card right now. Ludovic Charette, he fell back 9 behind the cutoff. And then Christian Master, Brad Stover, both with 437 points each. They are both, if I do the math correctly, 14 behind the cutoff going into Nashville. Then you have Echo Evans-Ross, who is now sitting in the second wild card position. I know you're happy to hear that, Derek. She has 7 ahead of Travis Crampton. Really didn't talk about Crampton too much. He finished 18th here today. Blaine Keys, if it were not for that issue that he had, where he ended up having the damage from whatever happened, and you guys will see that in the corner of your screen. You have already seen that. Finished 25th, 408. He is 24 points behind Echo Evans-Ross in that last wildcard spot. Rogel Dorn is 26 behind the last wildcard spot. And for all intents and purposes, Zidell, he's kind of a ways behind. He's 52 behind, so he is actually mathematically eliminated, even though he's got the win. 52 behind is not going to be enough to catch up, but still, nonetheless, a great win for Justin. Great win for your team, Stuart, and Nashville. Next week, noon Eastern time. Who's making it into the chase and who's getting the wild card positions? Derek and then Stuart.
I gotta go for Echo Evans-Ross and Matt Tuck. Hope they get the wild card positions.
Oh.
I don't like that. I don't like Matt being in the wild. I guess if the 54 makes the wild card, it still makes it. So but
Yeah.
I think we talked about. I mean, Liara with 2 wins, Perez with a win. I mean, the guys you're gonna have to really watch are guys like Tanner Parton, who don't have a win. They're going to be the ones that you really need to watch heading into Nashville. It's so tough. I'm honestly no idea. But I could see Perez sneaking into the top 10. I don't think he'll need a wild card. Not sure about whether Matt or Ali Liara. Could be Seth Cole that drops out into a wild card. I think, it depends on how many cars actually drop out, because Charette could get back in as well. So it totally depends. Yeah, I have no idea. I can't comment. I have no idea.
It's not as easy as it is in the Sprint Series. Let's put it that way. It's just all over the place. But we do know 4 guys have locked spots. Drew Webb, Thomas Troxel, Nicholas Amedeo, and Chase Buck. They're locked in. LJ Semedo, all but locked in, really, in that 71. And then you got Dylan Matthews kind of in that weird zone where he's got 22 ahead. And if he just finishes, top 15, he's good. But then I think it goes from Seth Cole down, I would say, to Brad Stover, because Master and Stover could sneak something, especially if either of them get the win at Nashville. That could get very dicey there. I mean, Master finished 4th in this race, and he's just right there on the cusp. Ludovic Charette is another one. Those are 3 guys. If they get a win and they don't have enough, they could shoot their way into that wild card. But here's another thing. Perez could move into the top 10. Yera could stay top 10. They could push Tanner Parton out, and then Travis Crampton, or maybe even Blaine Keys if things kind of go his way. But Crampton could sneak into that last wild card. There's going to be so many scenarios. My brain is going to be hurting once we're getting to that race and once we're doing it. But it's going to be a lot of fun. Cracker Barrel 400 next Saturday, noon Eastern Time, right here on AG the channel. Huge congratulations to Justin Zeidel for winning the Storm Bowling 400K here at Road America. And what a race it was here. And we will see you guys next week from Nashville. On behalf of Derek Hamill and Stuart Gratton, here are the point standings. Of course, you guys are already seeing the point standings on your screen, but here are them in a widescreen, full screen view so you can see them a little bit better. And we'll see you guys next week for the final race of the regular season in the Wawa Cup Series. Congratulations to Justin Zeidel once again, and I will see you guys later.